So y'all, I'm on the storm, so I'm gonna read chapter 4 and 5. We got the mosquitoes net and used it just in case. Nigel said Waylon didn't really mind letting us have it. He just didn't want to hear any more damn nonsense about mosquitoes. He didn't like to be taken for a fool. He's as close to being scared of you as he ever been of anything, said Nigel. I think he'd rather try to kill you than admit it, though. I don't see any signs of fear in him. You don't know him the way I do, Nigel posed. Could he kill you, Dana? I don't know. It's possible. We better get Mr. Ruth Wilden. Sarah has a kind of tea she makes that. Sarah has a kind of tea she makes that kind of helps the ague. Maybe it will help whatever Master Ruth has now. Would you ask her to brew a pot? He nodded and went out. Sarah came upstairs when Nigel to bring Rufus the tea and to see me. She looked old now. Her hair was streaked with gray and her face lined it. She walked with her limp. Drop the kettle off my foot, she said. Couldn't walk at all for a while. She gave me the feeling that everyone was getting older, passing me by. She brought me roast beef and bread to eat. Rufus has a fever now. He didn't want the tea, but I coaxed him and bullied until he swallowed it. Then we all waited, but all that happened was that Rufus' other leg began to hurt. His eyes bothered him most because moving them hurt him, and he couldn't help following any movements or Nigel around the room. Finally, I put a cold damp cloth over them. That seemed to help. He still had a lot of pain in his joints, his arms, his legs, everywhere. I thought I could ease that, so I took his candle and went up to the attic for my bag. I was just in time to catch a little girl trying to get the top of my sacred bottle. It scared me. She could just as easily have chosen the sleeping pills. The attic wasn't as safe a place as I thought it was. No, honey, give me those. They yours? Yes. They candy? Good Lord, no. They medicine. Nasty medicine. Ugh, she said, and handed them back to me. She went back to her paddock next to another child. They were new children. I wonder whether the two little boys who had preceded them had been sold or sent to the fields. I took the Excedrin, what was left of the aspirin, and the sleeping pills back down with me. I would have to keep them somewhere in Rufus' room, or eventually one of the kids will figure out how to get the safety caps off. Rufus has blown off the damp cloth and was knotted on his side in pain when I got back to him. Nigel had lain down on the floor before the fireplace and gone to sleep. He could have gone back to his cabin, but he asked me if I wanted him to stay since this was my first night back, and I said yes. I dissolved 3 aspirin in water and tried to get Rufus to drink it. He wouldn't even open his mouth. So I woke Nigel, and Nigel held him down while I held his nose and pulled the bad tasting solution into his mouth as he gasped for air. He cursed us both, but after a while he began to feel a little better, temporarily though. It was a bad night. I didn't get much sleep, nor was I to get much for the next 6 days and nights following. Whatever Rufus had, it was terrible. He was in constant pain. He had a fever. Once I had to call Nigel to hold him while I tied him down to keep him from hurting himself. I gave him aspirin, too many, but not as many as he wanted. I made him take broth and soup and fruit and vegetable juice. He didn't want them. He never wanted to eat, but he didn't want Nigel holding him down either. He ate, but he ate. Alice came in now and then to relieve me. Like Sarah, she looked older. She also looked harder. She was a cool, bitter older sister to the girls I had known. Folks treated her bad because of Mr. Rufus, Nigel told me. They figured if she'd been with him this long, she must like it. And Alice said, who cares what a bunch of niggas think? She lost 2 babies, Nigel told me. And the ones she got left is sicky, white babies, Alice said. looked more like him than me. Joe is even red-headed. Joe is a single survivor. I almost cried when I heard that. No Hager yet? I was so tired of this going back and forth. I wanted so much for it to be over. I couldn't even feel sorry for the friend who had fought for me and taken care of me when I was hurt. I was too busy feeling sorry for myself. On the third day of his illness, Rufus' fever left him. He was weak and several pounds lighter, but so relieved to be rid of the fever and the pain that nothing else mattered. He thought he was getting well. He wasn't. The fever and the pain returned for 3 more days, and he got a rash that itched and eventually peeled. At last, he got well and stayed well. I prayed that whatever his disease has been, I wouldn't get it. Wouldn't ever have to care for anyone else who had it. A few days after the worst of the symptoms had disappeared, I was allowed to sleep in the attic. I collapsed gratefully onto the pallet. Sir had made me there, and it felt like the world's softest bed. I didn't awaken until late the next morning after long hours of deep, unbroken sleep. I was still a little groggy when Alice came running up the steps and into the attic to get me. Mr. Tom is sick, she said. Mr. Rubens wants you to come. Oh, no, I muttered. Tell him to send for the doctors. Already sent for, but Mr. Tom is having bad pains in his chest. The significance of that filtered through me slowly. Pain in his chest. Yeah, come on, they in the parlor. God, that sounds like a heart attack. There's nothing I can do. Just come, they want you. I pulled on a pair of pants and threw on a shirt as I ran. What did people want from me? Magic? If Waylon was having a heart attack, he was going to either recover or die without my help. I ran down the stairs and into the parlor where Waylon laid on the floor, still and silent. Do something, Rufus pleaded. Help him. His voice sounded as thin and weak as he looked. His sickness had left his marks on him. I wondered how he had gotten downstairs. Waylon wasn't breathing and I couldn't find a pulse. For a moment I stared at him, undecided, repelled, not wanting to touch him again, let alone breathe into him. Then, quilling disgust, I began mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and internal heart massage. What do they call it? I knew the name, and I seen someone doing it on television. Beyond that, I was completely ignorant. I didn't even know why I was trying to save Waylon. He wasn't worth it, and I didn't know if CPR could do any good in an area where there was no ambulance to call. No one to take over for me, even if I somehow got Waylon's heart going, which I didn't expect to, which I didn't do. Finally, I gave up. I looked around to see Rufus on the floor near me. I didn't know whether he had sat down or fallen, but I was glad he was sitting down. I'm sorry, Rufus, he's dead. You let him die? He was dead when I got here. I tried to bring him back the way I brought you back when you were drowning. I failed. You let him die. He sounded like a child about to cry. His illness has weakened him so I thought he might cry. Even healthy people cried and said irrational things when their parents died. I did what I could, Ruth. I'm sorry. Damn you to hell. You let him die. He tried to lunge at me, succeeded only in falling over. I moved to help him up, but stopped when he tried to push me away. Send Nigel to me, he whispered. Get Nigel. I got up and went to find Nigel. Behind me, I heard Rita say once more, you just let him die. So y'all, that's it for chapter 4. I thought I could read chapter 5, but I'll be back. And y'all have a good day. Thank y'all for watching.